Welcome back to my Legends Expanded Universe chronological timeline order, where I go through the expanded universe according to my personal timeline and go through each and every individual piece of media and rank them all on a 10-point scale. And we have a very special episode today because we have come across a short film. This is not a book, it's not a comic, it's a different story medium. And so I wanted to do something a little different today with this review. Yes, I'm going to share my thoughts and give my rankings like always, but why would I summarize the events of the story told in the short film when we could just watch it together? So it's going to cut away to me watching and reacting to, with you guys, the short film itself. It's only like 8 minutes if I remember correctly. So we're going to take a look at that and watch that. Then it'll cut back here to me as I give my overall thoughts on how this story was. Now this story, what is this story? It is the Old Republic timeline number 12, because it went in reverse order, the Great Hyperspace War, which was written by an unknown author, but in universe it's written by SWTOR and narrated by him as well. This was released in 2011 as a tie-in to Star Wars The Old Republic, the game, taking place around 4,990 BBY. It's a short film that was put out by BioWare. So that is the short film that I have for us today, and we are going to be watching that together. Because I thought, I could just summarize the events of the short film, or we could just watch it together. So I thought, why not watch it together? So that's what's about to happen. It's going to cut to me watching this with you guys, and then it's going to cut back here to me as I give my overall review at the end of this reaction. So this will go a little longer today, but I thought I'll do this with all the short films because, why summarize the events from the short film when you could just see it with me. So that's what's going to happen now. It's a little different for a review to react to the medium while also reviewing it, but I figured I was going to take a stab, do something a little bit different today, and let me know how it's received, if you liked this approach. Without further ado, here we go. Alright, hello, here we go. It's 5 minutes. I thought this was 8 minutes. Alright, here we go. Let's see how that looks. Looks good, alright. Music's great. Music is fantastic.
Among past threats to the Republic, the Great Hyperspace War stands above all other wars in galactic history. In fact, the battle we fight today is in many ways an extension of this same conflict. The Sith Empire we believe we had destroyed in this war has now returned to avenge its defeat. The historical factors that set the stage for the modern conflict bear close examination. I believe the greatest factor of all may have been the way the Republic concluded the Great Hyperspace War. The Great Hyperspace War began at a time when the Republic had enjoyed millennia of peace, growth, and consolidation.
The art is really good.
In contrast, the Sith Empire was ending its centuries-long adolescent period. Undiscovered by the Republic, the Sith had conquered all of the star systems near Korriban. They were now seeking new opportunities for expansion. At this time, a brutal power struggle had broken out following the death of the Sith ruler. Among the contenders was the Dark Lord Naga Sadow. Whether by chance or destiny, it was at this time that two Republic explorers stumbled onto Korriban. Naga Sadow seized this opportunity to gain political advantage. The explorers were imprisoned as spies, but Naga Sadow staged an attack to liberate the explorers. He left evidence, suggesting the attack was a Republic military operation. Leveraging the widespread fear of an impending Republic invasion, Naga Sadow rallied the Sith to unite behind his cause, a preemptive strike against their newly discovered enemies. Eager for war, the people embraced Naga Sadow as their new ruler. His first act was to launch a vicious assault against the Republic. The Sith armies attacked on several fronts, including Coruscant itself. Naga Sadow commanded all his forces from a meditation sphere, suspended over a giant star. The initial onslaught overwhelmed the Republic's unprepared defenses. The Sith Empire's victory was almost assured, but as happened so often, the dark side turned upon itself. Naga Sadow was betrayed by his apprentice. Though the apprentice was defeated, the attack did succeed in breaking Naga Sadow's battle meditation. The tide of the war turned. The Sith were lost without their leader's direction, and the Republic forces soon chased the invaders back to the very doorstep of Naga Sadow's meditation sphere. Recognizing his imminent defeat, the Sith Lord abandoned his forces and started a chain of events to destroy the nearby star and everything in its vicinity.
Fantastic. Brilliant.
Naga Sadow fled back to Korriban, only to discover renewed opposition to his rule. Civil war broke out, whittling away what was left of the Sith Empire's already weakened armies. Naga Sadow defeated the upstarts, but the Sith were defenseless when the Republic fleet attacked shortly thereafter. As the Republic fleet wiped up what remained of the Sith military, Naga Sadow fled again, this time into permanent exile on Yavin 4. It was at this moment the Republic made what might now be considered a mistake. The Sith no longer posed a threat to the Republic, but the Supreme Chancellor was unsatisfied.
Big mistake, big mistake.
Jedi and Republic forces were sent to Korriban and other Sith planets to ensure no remnants of the Sith Empire remained. It was this action which drove the surviving Sith to flee into deep space, with the new Dark Lord who rose to take Naga Sadow's place. The same Dark Lord they continue to call Emperor to this day. I believe this was why he led his people to rebuild their civilization on Drum and Kaz. And this was why they returned 13 centuries later to get revenge against the Republic. One must wonder how things might have been if the Republic had handled the end of the Great Hyperspace War differently.
For sure. For sure.
We mustn't forget, though, the conflict at the heart of the Great Hyperspace War and the war we fight today began even before the Sith Empire rose to power. I'll elaborate in the next holorecord.
Well, that was absolutely fantastic, as I would have expected. One thing I want to mention is it's really, really unfortunate because we never got that next recording. That next recording would have probably covered the first Great Schism with Zendor. Then it would have gone beyond that back to the Dagon Lock Darksiders. Really, really a shame we never got that next recording. So that's why I grimaced a bit when he was like, I'll elaborate on my next recording. Because he won't. Onto the review. So if you couldn't tell from the reaction itself, I really enjoy these. These are great. The music, the art that moves, and the effects that show the flashing of blaster bolts and lightsabers activating. It's all such a fun experience. They take a history lesson and make it interesting. I enjoy history, so I can't really say that, but you know what I mean. It takes a narration summarizing stuff and makes it unique, visually great. Nostoral's voice is amazing. The music is superb. Again, I will mention the music over and over again. The music in these are so good. As for the story, it's just summarizing basically the two Tales of the Jedi arcs that I've just been reviewing. There's a little bit of new stuff here and there, it seems, describing the massacre. I don't remember that being depicted in Fall of the Sith Empire. I thought it was depicted when the Jedi, even when the Sith had been defeated, the Republic decided to kill every Massassi and Sith, women and children and civilians and all, on the Sith's planets, and burned it to the ground, razed it to the ground, blasting it to shreds, killing everyone, which was a terrible move by the Republic. I thought that was depicted in Fall of the Sith Empire, but I don't remember on the reread it being there. So I think there's some new stuff in this, even though it's a summary of everything that we've already had. It's really great watching. It's super fun. Nostoral's voice is great. It's told from an in-universe perspective, so it makes it interesting, because it feels like the history has a lot of stake to the characters and where they're at with society, how it shaped the galaxy. It's super interesting, and I love that BioWare took the time to make these. It really bums me out that they never went back as far as Dawn of the Jedi and the first Schism, because I'm sure those would have been great. It's a shame that those got cancelled. But overall, this is super fun. I would give it a 6 of 10. You may think that's a high score, but I've watched these over and over again, and I still love them every single time. So much fun. But what about you guys? What did you think of timeline number 12 of Star Wars The Old Republic, The Great Hyperspace War? Did you think it was just as good as a 6 of 10? Did you think it was worse than a 6 of 10? Let me know.